Hello, everyone. My name is Natalia, and I represent Highs Network. And today I'm going to be talking about ICO due diligence. Is it possible, and how to do it professionally? Since due diligence always implies that you invest some time and effort to receive facts, I also thought I needed some facts for my presentation to start with today. So here's what I found as I was going through some statistics on Coin News about ICOs. There were 2 ICOs happening a week in May. 2 happening a day in June, 10 ICOs happening a day today in August. And they expect about 200 to happen a week in fall this year, with a total amount of at least 2,000, each aiming at $10 million. 200 a week. The question I immediately ask myself is this: ICO stands for Initial Coin Offering. Do all of these 2,000 projects need a coin? And does the market need so many coins? And what if it doesn't? The second question I ask myself is, why has ICO become identical to crowdfunding today? Because if we look at facts, the projects that go for ICO, they simply want to raise money to develop their business, right? So why not go the traditional crowdfunding path? And of course, there are several answers to this. 1, crowdfunding platforms do not support cryptocurrencies. 2, projects that don't want to pay any crowdfunding fees, because ICO made it possible to interact with your investors directly. And 3, there is a hype around ICOs. Everyone is doing an ICO, and we see crazy amount of projects with just a few snippets of code on their website and no service whatsoever have, they've risen millions. They've raised millions. So why not try? But think about investors now. It's logical. Well, if ICOs are raising millions, it's logical that people want to profit from this opportunity. But yet, with so many ICOs, how do you choose a promising project? And how do you make a right investment decision? I think there are no facts and there are no certain criteria that can make investors make this decision or choose the right project. Investors don't really enjoy reading white papers and diving into details, because especially if those white papers are loaded with blockchain buzzwords such as disruptive platform or immutable distributed ledger or blockchain-inspired technology, and especially when these white papers are written by copywriters and not by the founders, then investors can't really verify smart contracts or check the technology simply because most of them are not geeks and have no technical background, and that's okay. And the most interesting difference between crowdfunding and ICO, crowdfunding path, technology and ICO is market value. When you invest on a crowdfunding platform, you have a very clear understanding of what product or service you're supporting, right? And what market value it will have. When you invest in an ICO, it's really difficult to predict the outcome. And the value of a new soon-to-be token is not based on the value of a real product or technology. And what happens is blockchain startups very often over-evaluate the tokens, and when they do, investors lose money. So what are we left with? So just experience tells me from talking to investors and working with startup teams is that investors rely on luck and their gut feeling when they invest in ICOs. But what if all this could be done professionally? That's what I would like to talk about today. Where do we find this criteria for choosing a promising project? In order to come up with this criteria, we would have to accumulate lots of successful practical experience around ICOs and distill it down to very simple strategies. But who has this experience? Obviously people. People who have already made correct investment decisions and helped others do the same. And then where do you find these people? Where do experts in crypto space hang out? Where do you find those people? Today it's all about recommendations. It's the word of mouth. And if you're new to the space as an investor, you probably will go and hang out on forums in Slack, Reddit, Telegram channels, right? Or you come and meet people at conferences. But then how do you know that these people who claim to be experts actually are experts? So again, my question is, what if this could be done professionally? What if there was a professional platform that would connect investors to ICO experts, consultants with proven track of achievements, and other successful investors who are willing to share their experience? What if it looked something like this? I'm sorry, it's a little too bright. So you find a person, there are keywords, you know exactly what they do, and the rating you see here, it's irrefutable because you cannot give a person a rating just because you see fancy words in their profile description. The rating is guaranteed by successful business deals that took place, and this is all recorded in blockchain. So you find a person and you have several options. You can start a conversation, you can send them a direct payment, or you can send them an invoice. You can hire them to be part of your team, you can hire them for the project, you can find legal experts. So a community of experts, what if you could find them in one place? These are actually screenshots of our platform. So if you found them, how can they help you with doing ICO due diligence? And what actually the problems associated with ICO due diligence? Think about the founders first. Since it's initial coin offering, they need to issue a coin, and they need to justify the use of this coin. I'm not trying to tell you that all ICOs are scam and that it's not worth investing in it. There are really a number of great projects with utility tokens that create outstanding technologies and provide amazing services, and their token has a very clear practical purpose. So it's either a mining reward or loyalty bonus or internal settlement tool, whatever. But we understand why we need these tokens. However, there are lots of tokens that have no reason to be on the market, and no one understands why they're there. So if you're an investor, you need to issue a coin. And then, instead of actually focusing on business development, lots of investors think, how am I going to use this coin? How are people going to use this coin? And then the second thing is you need to deal with all the compliances and regulations, because the logical question for those who issue a new coin is this: so guys, are you printing money? But that's illegal. Oh, that's not real money, that's what you're saying. So if it's not real money, so please make sure it complies and conforms to all the rules and regulations. And it's a pain, believe me, it's a lot of pain. And then, of course, they need to support their token, because nobody wants to see the value of their token plummet. So here's what the founders face. Think about people who invest in ICOs, the private investors. What options do they have when they buy another coin? And because when you invest in an ICO, you buy another coin, and there are many. So what options do you have? Research actually and experience shows that 80% of people don't really understand what a coin is for and how they're going to use it. And the only strategy that has proven to work is wait and sell. And that's it. So that proves, again, the probably market doesn't need all these coins, and people probably don't need them, because most people who buy the coins are looking for ways to get rid of them as soon as possible after the ICO, as soon as it has grown a little bit. So people who care about short-term profit, of course, ICO for them is a pure speculation mechanism. However, people who are looking for ways to make a correct long-term investment decision, they're struggling between choosing projects who all look the same, confident that they will raise millions and unable to explain why. So the question for you as an investor should be, how can I use your token? And why are you sure that people will need it? Because many tokens actually didn't survive long after the ICO just because no one bothered about their right application in the first place. So again, what the market needs, I believe, is statistics and practical experts in crypto investments. These people have already made a number of correct decisions. They have helped ICOs become a success. They have helped other people make a decision. And why not give these people voice? Because they exist. They do. Here is what we think is possible. So how do you do ICO due diligence? We think it should be done professionally. And here's what can happen. What can happen on our platform, on Ties Network. You, as an investor, you come and say, I want to do due diligence of ICO X, maybe a couple of projects, and you create a project, due diligence of ICO X. As soon as you create the project, the platform notifies all interested parties and sends notifications to people who can be interested. So you choose an expert, and when I say choose an expert, here are the people you might need to help you do due diligence, because you can't do everything yourself. Compliance and regulations experts. So they really take a look at all the information. When you create a project, you upload on the platform all available information that exists on the project: white paper, business overview, smart contracts, code, anything available. And compliance and regulation experts can help you. Then legal advisors for certain jurisdictions. You can, whether it's Switzerland, United States, Netherlands, I don't know, Russia, China, Singapore, you can't know everything, but there are people who know specifically each jurisdiction. Then there are developers who can take a look at smart contracts and let you know whether there is a mistake, whether it's correct. Market leaders who can analyze the business model and let you know if there is actually a demand for this project. Is this project going to survive long? Business analysts who can evaluate the market value. Other investors who have already made a successful decision, they can share their practical experience. And other experts. So as soon as you have found these people, you upload all available documentation there, they study it, and you choose level of privacy. What it means is that you can either set up a private project or a public one. If it's a public project, you tell the community, guys, do you want to benefit from due diligence of this ICO? Well, so we create a wallet, and everybody, pays their share in this wallet. As soon as we have collected the money, the experts start their work. It all is executed via smart contract, because as soon as the money is there, experts start doing their work, and it first goes to escrow account. They do their work, and when they present the facts, they get paid, and everyone who participated in this project benefits from it. The more people participate, the more people will benefit from results of this due diligence, and the less the whole project will cost. However, you can set up a private project as well. Let's say you want to do due diligence of a couple ICO projects and be the first one to invest. You don't want to tell people, other people no. If you want to set up a private project, you hire all these experts yourself. They do the work for you, you pay. If you want to raise millions, to make millions with this investment, you probably wouldn't mind spending 1,000 on due diligence. And you get all the facts and you get the information, and then you decide what you do with this. But it's going to be all professional. It's going to be based on facts, and we believe that such projects will help both the investors and the projects and this community actually to come up with a set of very certain and clear criteria for decent ICOs, for decent projects. People with such skills, people with such expertise, they can add tremendous value to the community, and we want to give them voice. And we also hope that such feedback will help the teams that go for an ICO today take correct steps and maybe correct their financial calculations, maybe rewrite their white paper, and do better their smart contract. Because today no one is giving this feedback to teams. And investors are left with nothing, no criteria, and most of them really rely on just what other people tell them and other people's experience. So this is just one of the features on Ties Network, and I wanted to share with you, and I also wanted to hear your opinion and your questions on this maybe. We are aiming at connecting the crypto community globally and setting new standards of trust when you can successfully collaborate with people you don't know, with people who are ready to work for cryptocurrency and accept cryptocurrency. So welcome on our website, and I'm going to be here all day. If you have any questions, I'm going to be happy to talk to you. Thank you very much.